all projects will be funded. All Beachville projects will be done and will be funded. And as well, what I have insisted be put in the legislation, because they are taking $9 million to make sure that the parks stay open, the state parks in New Jersey. But I've insisted a couple of points. Number one, that if that money is taken, that it can only be taken once. Number two, if we ever fall short in that fund, that money must be replaced. And if it is not replaced, then they will no longer be able to collect the realty transfer tax, which puts the money into the fund and puts it into other areas as well. So we've put in a real safeguard. I think it is a bad precedent. I don't believe it's something that we should do, really, utilize shore protection funds or beach fill funds for anything else but beach fill and shore protection and beach nourishment. However, the way that I have ensured that this legislation be constructed is a way that that money must be put back in the fund, to the point that if they didn't put it back in, literally they would no longer be able to collect the realty transfer tax in the state of New Jersey, and that is called a poison pill. And a poison pill means that if you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you take money out of the fund, or if you don't replace money in the fund, then you will no longer be able to collect the tax that does create that fund. And that's something certainly New Jersey wouldn't want to do. So we've really made sure that it is secure. And with that being said, I would never support this happening again. It is a one-time issue as far as I'm concerned. And the only way that I will vote for a budget with it in it is to ensure that the funding has to be replaced.
So they'll take $9 million from it this year, and then they would have to replace that in following years, is what you're telling me?
Yes, they would take $9 million in it from this year, and if the fund, right now the fund has over $40 million in it, and the projects are not going to cost nearly that much. There's been a lot of excess money in this fund for a good number of years, but I believe that we need to have that money in the fund, because in future years, the federal government is not going to be funding beach replenishment projects. They have been falling very short. They haven't been doing their job. And because of that, I believe we're going to need every penny that we have in there. So when that amount falls below $20 million in that fund, they're going to have to automatically replace the $9 million that they borrowed. That's never been done before. When other funds were utilized in the state of New Jersey, it was never built in that they had to replace the money. That is the difference here. That is something that I individually have insisted on and would not support any furtherance of this budget until that legislation was done.